Seriously? Seriously. I'm Barry Moore for the Next Adventure Show channel, and this is my first impression and review of my 21 Brothers over-the-seat 40-liter duffel. Let's take a look at what it can do and how much you can fit inside. So the bag attaches to your bike with a number of straps. I think there's about 3 different attachment points. There's also a strap at the back with little metal clasps on it that fit perfectly into my alt-rider luggage rack. So 2 little clasps there to hold it against the luggage rack, and then the straps to tighten everything down. It's waterproof and seals with the standard kind of roll top, roll down, and clip type arrangement at the top. So some of the options I went for, the Cordura down at the bottom, giving you a bit more abrasion resistance when it's on the ground or when you're dragging it around, for example. I also went with these tie-down loops in here so that you can attach, and across here, so that you can attach bottles and other bags to it. I also went with another 5-liter bag, which you'll see in this lovely B-roll here. Primarily that one's going to be used for having the first aid kit and super important stuff in it. So I wanted it red, I wanted it small so I could attach it anywhere. If the bike goes down or somebody needs it in a hurry, it's super easy to find. Another option I went for is you can get waterproof inner liner bags as well. So you get one bag that kind of goes down the right leg of the bag, another bag down the left, and you get a third waterproof bag for all your stuff that you want to put in across the top. So what I'm going to do is we're going to set up a bit of a time lapse, and you can see how much stuff can actually fit in this bag, and we'll lay it all out. Alright, you can see all the stuff that fits in here from the little bit of a scan that we had there. Here's 2 of the 3 waterproof bags that go inside, one down the left leg, one down the right leg. I didn't take the one across the top. But I've got a couple of extra little stuff sacks for garbage and things like that. I've got my camp chair. I've got some food for the next couple of days in here and some cooking stuff. I've got my sleeping bag, I've got my air mattress, my trusty Trangia cook set, my Wildo or Wildo plate set and cup set, plus some utensils and knives and things for cooking, then a personal hygiene kit, soap, toothbrush, toothpaste, etc., and then all my clothes in that stuff sack there, sleeping bag liner, and 3 pillows for another video I'm going to do for Moto Camping Pillow Shootout. I'm going to test 3 of those tonight and let you know which one comes up best. But that's all the stuff you can fit in that 40-liter bag. Couldn't quite get my tent in there, probably because this is so big. But I just had another bag attached to the top with the tent in it. This is my Sea to Summit Comfort Plus SI sleep pad. You can see it's the biggest, kind of bulkiest thing that I own, but that's my personal luxury item because it is the best, and I will do a review on that at some point. As comfortable as a bed, I swear. And I'm a side sleeper as well, and I weigh like 90 kilos. Still don't have any pinching or having my hips hit the ground or anything like that when I sleep on, so it's awesome. So you can see, perfectly capable for a bit of a multi-day trip, especially if you tie it with another kind of 25-liter bag on top, which I did to hold my tent and things. So that's it. We'll wait for the morning where there's a bit more light, and we'll take a look at some of the other finer details of the bag. Welcome back. We are not in the Temple of Adventure today. We are at the kitchen table of adventure so that I can give you a closer look at the ROGAL 40-liter over-the-seat duffel that I showed you on the last camping trip there. And we're here so you can get a bit of a closer look at all the different features, and I can run through them a little bit more in detail. So this is the ROGAL 40 liter. There is also a 30 liter and there's a larger 50 to 60 liter one. I thought this was a good compromise in between. If you're not camping, it's perfect. You can carry all your stuff on a multi-day trip, no problem. I found if I am camping, it's not quite room enough for a tent, but I did get a new tent, which I'll talk about soon. So I could probably get that in here. So for a couple-day trip, you could easily fit everything you need inside one of these bags. If you're going for extended or your tent's kind of big, you got some bigger equipment, you might want to go for the 50 liter. You can also obviously pair it with other duffels like I did on the last trip. I had my tent and some extra stuff in a 25 liter duffel that just sat on the top. So this is the 40 liter. It comes in a number of different colors. You can find on their website and a number of different options. So the base price for the roll top version is 179 euros, and I'll put some other currencies here down below. There's a zippered version which is slightly less, but I went for the roll top version. Then there are a number of options that you can add on to your bag. All the bags are handmade and built to your spec. So I'll talk about what additional features I decided to go with on the bag, and then what the final price of everything was. So some of the other options, as I said, Cordura nylon on the end. This is kind of a PVC material. It's quite thick. I don't think you're going to tear or puncture this quite easily. It's very thick. But on the end of the legs, so to speak, I opted for some Cordura nylon as well, which is a bit more scrape and wear resistant if you happen to be dragging the bag around a camp or setting it down, picking it up a lot. I thought that would add to a bit of longevity. Also, you can add additional mounting points. So I added additional mounting points to the sides, so I can strap additional bags to it as well, and as well on the top as well. Also on the back, lovely B-roll here, is some metal clasps. So you can opt to have those metal clasps as well, or those metal hooks, and those fit perfectly right onto the kind of lower parts of my alt-rider luggage rack, or most luggage racks will have like little kind of mounting points there at the bottom of the luggage rack. They fit perfectly into there. And then another option are these PVC bags that fit inside. So you don't necessarily need that. This base bag is waterproof. With the roll top one is waterproof, but these are waterproof as well. And they come sized out and shaped out to fit specifically into the bag. So there's one for the left leg, one for the right leg, and then one that goes across the top. So you can organize your stuff and you can easily pull it out of the bag and then just leave the bag attached to your bike when you get to a campsite, which is what I did the other day. So just pull everything out, leave the bag there. When it's time to go, slide everything back in, and away you go. Additionally, with my order, I opted for a 5 liter bag as well. And this is where I'm going to keep all the kind of emergency related stuff. So first aid kit's in here. I think I have a spare tube in here. So emergency related equipment. And then I can mount this somewhere conspicuously on the bike so that it's easy to find if a bike goes down or someone needs some attention in a hurry. Boom, just look for the red bag, the bright red first aid bag, grab it and pull it off and you are good to go. So my order consisted of the bag itself, all the options I talked about, and the 5 liter bag on top of that. And that came to a total of 287 euros, which is about 450 Australian. So really good value for money here. You know, this is just really good quality, as good as, you know, you're going to get kind of out of a giant loot type bag. A much easier to take price point, I think. So, especially in Australia, we get ripped off in Australia so bad for importing stuff. Some of the other features. On the back here, you'll see it's got reinforced PVC for the seat area and some little guards for where the metal buckles are so that you don't scratch your bike, and that the seat of the bag is reinforced where it's going to kind of take the most rubbing and the most scratching, I think. In addition, inside the inside liner of the bag is a nice bright orange so that if you want to open the bag and you're looking for something specific, it's not so dark inside the bag. It's easily contrastable with the stuff that's inside the bag. As far as mounting goes, it's got one strap lower down on each of the legs, And that usually just threads through part of the subframe. I tend to just put them onto the pillion pegs, whip it through there, and tie it up. Then you've got another set of straps kind of on the side. I like kind of halfway up the leg section of the bag. And those can just thread anywhere onto that, onto your pillion hand grip area is probably a good place. That's where I've been putting it. Then you've got another 2 straps here at the junction of the bag. And those can go anywhere. I think I put those through the luggage rack as well. And then here are the 2 metal clasps I talked about. So these metal hooks just hooked straight into the luggage rack and held it in place. And with those kind of 6 straps and the hooks, this bag is not going anywhere. It sits really well, even on the bumpies, getting in some dirt and bumping up and down. The bag is very, very, very secure. So some final thoughts on the bag. What do I think of it? On the plus side, really good value for money. As I said, the equivalent giant loop bag would probably cost you twice as much as this, and I don't think it's twice as good quality. It might be a little bit better in a couple of areas, but this is very good quality and will last you a very, very long time. And I'll be taking it on a lot of trips. Some other good things about this bag, as opposed to, say, panniers, for example, you can throw this on pretty much any bike. So you change bikes, you're renting a bike, you're going overseas and you're going to pick up a rental to tour somewhere. This is great. Just throw it on the back and away you go. You don't need any special mounting hardware, and it's transferable from bike to bike. Another good thing is when it's sitting on the bike, it's really no wider than you are. So you don't have to worry about scraping panniers if you're trying to get between pylons or cars or get around a corner or something like that. Navigate a narrow track. If your legs don't hit, then this isn't going to hit either. It does strap very secure to the bike, so you don't need to worry about that. One of the downsides of that is it's not as easy to remove as a pannier. You can't just come up, clip, zip it off. There are 6 straps that need to be done up. But having said that, that only takes, 3 or 4 minutes to get it all sorted and ready to go. And as I said, you can leave it on the bike and just take the stuff out from inside. If I were to order this again, I would probably get exactly the same configuration. I wouldn't bother with, these were optional extras, I wouldn't bother with the inside bags simply because, 1, the bag's waterproof and weatherproof without it. Number 2, I've got enough stuff sacks sitting around the house that I don't really need those. And a greater number of stuff sacks, you could have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 across the top. So it would probably help in organizing your gear even a little bit better. You can have like camping stuff at the top, cooking stuff down one leg, tools and clothes down the other leg. So I probably wouldn't bother with that again. But I certainly would buy this bag again. Really good value for money. Some of the downsides of this bag, it's not really a downside. It's just something you need to be aware of. As I said, they are all custom ordered to your specifications. So if you're wanting this bag next week or the week after, you're not going to get it. They need time to build the bag to your specs and then send it to you. These guys are out of Poland, and it probably took about 5 weeks to make the bag. From the time I put my order in to the time they told me it was ready was probably about 5 weeks. So if you can't wait, it's probably not the thing for you. If you got some time to kill and you just want a quality piece of gear for a good value, check out 21 Brothers. They aren't great at marketing, so they don't have a fancy website. It's not a schmick international operation like some of these other guys, but they are very responsive. So you can just send them an email, they'll get back to you, and they'll, you go back and forth with exactly the options and the pricing. Very responsive. They seem like a good bunch of guys, but you are going to have some lead time. And then if you're overseas somewhere, like I'm in Australia, then it took a while to ship this out. So they sent it kind of by surface, by sea, in the height of the zombie apocalypse COVID thing. So it took a while to get here. But really like it, really love it. I will be using it a lot, especially for quick like overnight trips and stuff like that. It's ideal for that. It's great. So that's my impression of 21 Brothers. You can find them on Facebook and you can find them on the web. I'll link to that down below. I did like their stuff so much, I did order a pair of soft panniers to go on my new pannier racks. You can have a look at the new pannier racks just here. And when the panniers do show up, I will do a complete review on those. Those are the ones I'll probably be taking on the Red Center road trip coming up. If you don't know what the Red Center road trip is, go down in the description, click on the link, and you can find out all about it. In the meantime, I'll see you on the next adventure.